Clara had found the map, the final clue. The X on the map pointed straight to the old church, in the center of El. She could feel it in her bones. The answers she had been searching for were just beyond reach. With the key in hand, Clara set out toward the church. The moon was high in the sky, casting a cold, pale light over the path. As she approached the church, a strange feeling washed over her. It felt as though the building itself was watching her, waiting for her to arrive. The door to the church was heavy, old, and covered in moss, as if it had been shut for years. Clara pushed it open, the creaking sound echoing through the empty hall. Inside, everything was still. The silence was deafening. Her eyes quickly scanned the room, and there it was, an old stone altar at the far end of the church. Something about it seemed ... out of place. The altar had been untouched for centuries, but the dust on it was disturbed, as if someone had recently been there. Clara walked toward the altar, her footsteps echoing in the vast, empty space. She looked down and noticed a small compartment hidden within the altar, just big enough for her to slide the key inside. Her heart raced as she carefully inserted the key. A soft click echoed through the church as the altar's compartment opened, revealing an ancient scroll and a glowing crystal. Clara gasped in awe. This was it. The secret the whispers had been guiding her to all along. She unrolled the scroll, which was covered in strange symbols and writings. It was old, the ink barely legible, but Clara recognized the symbols. They were the same ones from the stone in the forest, the same ones that had led her here. She read aloud the words on the scroll, her voice trembling with excitement and fear. The forest whispers the truth. The earth remembers the past. Beneath the oak tree, a forgotten king's soul rests. To awaken the past, the key must be turned, and the crystal placed upon the stone. Clara looked down at the glowing crystal. She now understood what she had to do. The forest had led her here. The whispers had guided her to this moment. But the mystery wasn't just about discovering the past. It was about unlocking a forgotten truth buried for centuries. Clara left the church, the crystal in hand. The whispers seemed to follow her, now more insistent than ever. She walked back to the oak tree in the forest, the place where it all began. The moon was full, casting long shadows across the land. At the base of the tree, Clara knelt down and placed the crystal onto the stone. For a moment, nothing happened. But then, the ground trembled, and the tree's ancient roots began to stir, pulling back as if something deep beneath the earth was awakening. Suddenly, the stone door she had uncovered earlier began to open again. This time, it led to a hidden chamber beneath the tree. Clara stepped inside, the air thick with history and mystery. At the center of the chamber stood a grand throne. It was carved from stone, covered in vines, but at its base lay something even more remarkable, an ornate chest. Clara approached the chest, her heart racing as she gently opened it. Inside the chest, Clara found a crown, tarnished by time but still magnificent. It was the crown of a long-forgotten king, one whose reign had been erased from the history books. The king had once ruled Eldermist, but his kingdom had fallen into ruin, lost to time. And with him, his legacy had been buried, hidden in the whispers of the forest. As Clara held the crown, the whispers faded, replaced by a sense of peace. The mystery had been solved. The whispers were not just the voices of the forest, they were the voices of the past, trying to reveal the truth. Clara smiled, knowing that she had uncovered a piece of Eldermist's lost history. The crown, the crystal, the keyed hat, all led her here. And now, the secrets of the past were no longer hidden in the shadows. Clara returned to the church, where the crystal glowed softly in the night. The whispers were gone, but the mystery had been solved. And as she looked out over the town of Eldermist, she knew that the town's forgotten king would no longer be forgotten.